This episode of This Old Farm Shop, prepare yourself for a journey like no other. We delve into the depths of restoration, transforming rust into a symphony of flavors, igniting a fire that will leave you craving for more. Brace yourselves for an experience that will tantalize your taste buds and ignite your imagination. We take you on a mesmerizing transformation where rust shall surrender to the hands of craftsmanship. Witness the birth of juicy tenderness and the birthplace of unforgettable smoky goodness. This is where flavor is forged and legends are born. But hold on tight, for we're about to unveil a creation that will rewrite the rules of smoking. Prepare to witness the birth of a smoker like no other, a masterpiece crafted with passion and precision. Our team has pushed the boundaries of innovation, introducing features that defy convention and elevate the art of smoking. Every detail meticulously designed, every element carefully curated, this smoker will take you on a culinary journey beyond your wildest dreams. Innovation meets tradition as we fuse the art of old world smoking with the technology of tomorrow. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we invite you to witness the magic of these flavors coming to life. From the first sizzle to the final bite, our expert pissmasters will guide you through a tantalizing symphony of tastes and aromas that will leave you yearning for more. So lock in your seat, fire up your appetite, and join us on this groundbreaking episode of This Old Farm Shop. Get ready to embark on an epic journey where rust transforms into juicy, tender, smoky goodness. Don't miss a second of this extraordinary adventure. So it's time to build a new smoker. Got the barrel and what we're going to do with it. So we're actually going to install this smoker long ways on this tongue here, and we'll actually have to extend this tongue on out to make it work. We'll have a separate firebox for each smoker, and this will bring the number of Boston butts we can get on here to 50. It's very tempting to use the plasma cutter because you would really make a quick cut, but obviously we may not be here tomorrow if we did so. So I've got this metal cutting saw from Evolution here, and we'll use that to zip through this first cut. All right guys, this is how I make hinges. So you end up cutting 3 pieces that look like this, and then you stack them. One this way, one this way, one this way. Through with your hinge pin, cotter pin on the other side. And there's your hinge. Got the lid cut open. See there how the hinges turned out? So this particular barrel, there's no rust inside. Metal's good and thick. Next we work on putting our angle iron bracing all the way around both sides of the body and of the lid.
I tried it first, not 17. And it burned like fire, and I threw it down. That mark was clear. Put me on the ground. Oh, take me down. Oh, take me down that open road. Down in a gully, on my eyes cold, there lived a man who knew how to grow. He drank moonshine, smoked cigarettes, he wore overalls, and he had the best. And I tried it first, and I was 22. And them purple buds that put me on the moon. Oh, take me down, oh, take me down that open road.
Here we got our firebox almost done. We've got the hole cut for the smoke to go out to the firebox, and this little box here is going to be where our flapper control is going to go to choose whether or not we smoke inside the smoke chamber or whether or not the smoke is to go directly out and bypass the smoke chamber. And the reason why we do this is when you first throw wood in there, when the bark is burning off, it gives off an unpleasant flavor, and you don't want that flavor in your meat. So you simply use my little bypass valve here, bypass the smoke for the first 5-10 minutes, and then you turn it back to smoke and continue cooking your meat.
We didn't give a damn what people think. We just like to hunt them old buck deer. Damn how I wish he was still here. me down, oh take me down that open road. Oh take me down, oh take me down that
There you guys,
open
you
road.
see I made some hinges here. Pretty simple design. There you can see my doors nice and lined up. Works nice. Now I'll put my latch over here on this side and continue on. This door latch that I made here, I found this in an old book about welding and machining and whatnot, and it's called a ramp latch. So you just basically weld a wedge on the inside there, and then when you go to close it, point that up inside, and then the more you turn it, the tighter it gets. And so you never have to worry about adjusting your latch on your door. It's always self-adjusting. Time to burn it out. Get all the old oil residue out of there. Obviously that wouldn't be good for smoking. So fill it full of wood, set it on fire, let it burn. The plan here, guys, is I don't have any appropriately sized pipe, but I do have this steel tubing that they use to construct metal buildings like the one that I'm in now. So what I've done is I've sliced them all on opposite sides on the corners to make angle iron. And now what I'm going to do is just build a giant box here. When it's all said and done and I put it together, it should end up being right at 5 inches square, which will be perfect size for the smokestack on this smoker. Got my valve all fixed and in place. Got a railroad spike here to use as a handle. So I'm over to the left like that. Now I'm smoking inside the chamber. And when I come this way, we'll be bypassing and go out of the chamber. Now when I'm smoking inside the chamber, as you saw me making this will distribute the smoke inside the chamber. See on the bottom here, I drilled some holes to help distribute the smoke a little more evenly. This will blow the smoke up near the front, and then the exhaust pipe will be back here at the back. Hey guys, I'll talk a little bit about what I've done here. So I've got the second smoker mounted to the first smoker. As you can see here, they're mounted in the orientation I was telling you I was going to mount them in. I had to move the axle. The axle was here. And I've moved it forward to here. Now the golden ratio for building trailers is 60% in front of the axle and 40% behind the axle. And this turns out to be really close to that. It's about, I don't know, 65, 35-ish or whatever. But at any rate, with the axle back here, it was way too much stress on this frame here. So next up, we've got to get the tongue welded on the front here. Got my center line marked of the drum. And get the tongue welded on there and figure out exactly how far out I want it to come. Continue on. Guys, smoker is painted. Thanks to my neighbor Tim for loaning me some paint supplies. 1.5 quarts of Rust-Oleum high temp grill paint, sprayed in a Harbor Freight HVLP spray gun. I did end up having to dilute it about 10% to make it spray good. It's got a good thick coat on there, as you can tell. The top here had some pretty good pitting where it was rusted, so I got about 4 good thick coats over that. Yeah, it turned out great. Went over the old one here, about a coat or so, just to touch it up a little bit. Okay, next step is to get the gasket on the door and then go ahead and get it seasoned. So looking here, I found this thermometer. It's a cheap thermometer from Amazon, but it says nowhere in the description that this thermometer is adjustable. But in fact, it is adjustable, and for $12.99, it was one of the cheaper ones I could find. Now I do like a 3-inch thermometer on my smoker. It makes it a little easier to see as you're sitting a little further away from it. And if we look under the thermometer, see a little screw on the base of the stem there. That's showing me about 208, 209, somewhere in there. And I'm going to call that close enough because it's really hard to get a fine movement on that screw. So anyway, guys, as you're building your smoker, I think this is a pretty good find. The next cheapest one I could find that actually says adjustable come in at about $35, and of course shipping was going to be several days on it. So I will have a link to this in the description below. I apologize for not getting it on camera, but it was starting to rain on me. But I put my gasket on. Just a fiberglass stove door gasket, and you just adhere it with some regular RTV. I used a mixture of red RTV and black RTV. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to get hot enough to make a difference between those two or whatever. I'll show you on the old smoker here. So you want to glue your gasket to your lid, and like I said, using your RTV, because if you glue it down here to this surface when you're working, either cleaning the smoker or moving your Boston butts, barbecue, whatever, in and out, you may get that fiberglass in your food, and there again, you don't want to damage the fiberglass either. You want to make sure that it stays on there and can do its job. When you're applying this stuff, you go ahead and you put your RTV all the way around, let it dry in for a few minutes, and then go ahead and stick your fiberglass up there. And then if you have some paper, the best thing to do is go ahead and line the entire surface that it's going to mate with paper all the way around, like I did over here. and then close your lid and allow it to sit for a couple days. Make sure it's nice and cured and dried, stuck good the way you want it. If you have any paper that sticks or whatever, it's no big deal. Just, you know, take a torch and burn it off in those spots or whatever. It's not going to hurt your fiberglass gasket or anything like that. So there we go, guys. Smoker is finished. It took me, I'd say all in all, I worked on it about 3 months, you know, and this is only working mostly on weekends, Saturday and Sunday. So I probably got a total of maybe 60 hours in the thing. Our glue should be dry now. So let's go ahead and get this paper out of there and let's build a fire. Get this thing cured out. So the reason we want to cure it, we want to go ahead and burn off any residual smells or odors that we do not want in our food. And we want to go ahead and coat the inside, especially the grate, with a good coating of creosote. And that way it'll protect our food from whatever could possibly be on the grate or inside the smoker chamber or anywhere like that. But the creosote will seal in whatever's there and give us a good protective hard layer that will protect our food. Hey guys, there's hundreds of videos out there about how to trim brisket, so I didn't film exactly what I did. But I just wanted to show you guys, so this is the point side of the brisket and this is the flat. Now when you're trimming your brisket, the flat side, leave all the fat. Do not cut any of it off of there. You can see how I did it. See how thin the flat side is? If you cut any of that fat off there, it's just going to burn. Now the point side, you need to trim as much fat as possible off of it. And you can see I even got down into the separation layer in between the point and the flat. See, this is the actual separation right here. If I was to cut this last little piece, this would be the point, and under here is the flat. You want to trim as much fat off of this point as possible. Otherwise, the point is going to take much longer to cook. Now, every once in a while, you'll see this grayish meat on the sides of your brisket. I do go ahead and trim that off. I didn't notice that till just now, so I'm getting ready to trim that off. Look here, this whole bowl is full of fat. That's what I trim. For my brisket rub, I just go to Food Line and get this Badia brisket rub seasoning. And for a brisket this size, I'll use most of one of these bottles. Now this is a 6-ounce brisket injection. I'll take 4 of these beef bouillon cubes and I'll boil them up the night before in about, I don't know, a cup and a half or so of water. And that's what I'm going to use as my injection. Now for your injector, to make it work a whole lot easier, just take a little Crisco oil, pour it down in the barrel there, and that'll help lubricate your gasket on your plunger there. Let's get this thing injected. All injected and ready to go. It's difficult to get it injected on this thin side, but if you'll turn it over and try to inject from the bottom side and just go in at an angle, you'll be able to get it all in there. And then whatever's left, I'll just pour down in the bottom and let it soak. Now I'm going to cook it directly in this pan for most of the cook. At some point I will pour off 3/4 of the grease or whatever that's in the bottom. Okay guys, maiden voyage of the new smoker. Got a full pork shoulder on here and a brisket. The reason why I stuck my brisket back in the corner is I'm thinking it'd be a little cooler right back there, and that's where the thinnest part of the brisket is. Okay guys, it's been on here about 3.5 hours. Let's get our first temperatures. I don't expect this guy to be too hot. He's sitting at about 116. And over there is 147. This thing's gonna get pretty warm, I suspect. 58, 60. We're ready to eat brisket here before long. Okay guys, I pulled the brisket off. I just cut him in half. I've not even rested him yet. Just look at that. Delicious. It is absolutely perfect all the way across. So this is going to be on the flat side over here. This would have been the point, and this is more flat that I just cut off from right, this section right here. And just look at this. Beautifully cooked. Beautifully tender, falling apart. Competition wise, yeah, it's overcooked. So that's exactly how I like it. Absolutely delicious. So as you're watching this today, this is Father's Day 2023. We've got the brisket in the warmer, poured some of the leftover juice over it, and we'll just keep it warm until company gets here for dinner tonight. Well guys, we had a very successful meal. Everyone really enjoyed the brisket and the barbecue. When I say barbecue, I'm just talking about the pulled pork. I think this was a really neat video because we went all the way from a rusty old oil drum to a beautiful smoker here. Here is the finished product. I am very pleased with the way it turned out. It's a very beautiful smoker. It's easy to use. I like the tall smokestack. It makes it draw better. And when I say draw better, I mean it pulls the smoke right out of the smoke chamber very easily. And it just works really well. I don't really know what else to say about the smoker other than it works great. I'm excited to use it for a big event. We'll definitely cook some barbecue coming up this November. My dad and I always do a big cook for Thanksgiving every year. And a lot of folks turn out to purchase barbecue from us. I think last year we cooked about 43 Boston butts, which was our biggest yet. And I sold the big smoker that I used last year, the yellow cabinet, the old fire cabinet. I appreciate everyone sticking around to the end of the video here to see how it all turned out. If you haven't subscribed, please consider hitting the subscribe button and enable notifications, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the video. Maybe you saw something in this video that you'd never seen before. All right guys, from This Old Farm Shop, thanks for watching. So what is a barbecue smoker? From a Southerner's point of view, a barbecue smoker is a prized cooking apparatus used to create mouth-watering, slow-cooked meats that are a cornerstone of Southern cuisine. It is more than just a cooking device, it's a symbol of tradition, community, and culinary expertise. A barbecue smoker typically consists of a large, sturdy metal chamber or barrel with various compartments and features designed to generate and control smoke, heat, and airflow. It is often fueled by charcoal or wood, such as hickory, mesquite, or oak, which infuse the meat with distinct smoky flavors. The slow cooking process is truly what sets Southern barbecue smokers apart. Low and slow is the mantra, as the meat is lovingly cooked over a low, indirect heat for hours, allowing the smoke to permeate and tenderize every fiber. This results in meat that is incredibly tender, moist, and infused with a rich, smoky taste that is distinctive to Southern barbecue. For a Southerner, a barbecue smoker represents much more than a cooking method. It represents a way of life, a celebration of food, family, and community. It embodies the cherished traditions and flavors of the South, serving as a focal point for gatherings, lively conversations, and the creation of unforgettable culinary experiences.